With the many changes regarding NASCAR's future taking place this weekend, today it's time we celebrate and look back at the past, at the legendary paint schemes, drivers, teams, and crews that have graced the tracks of NASCAR over the past 70 years. Welcome to an annual tradition here at the oldest super speedway as MDK Race Day returns as we get you set and ready for the 2021 Goodyear 400, 11th race of the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. As we enter into the month of May and into the months of summer, it is expected to be hot here in Darlington, South Carolina. Temperature in the mid 80s, 2% chance of rain, 27% chance of humidity with a strong gust of wind, 12 miles an hour south-southwest of the racetrack. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of MDK Race Day. It's been a while since I last did one of these. The last time I did this was Las Vegas, and that was back in, I think, mid-March. So it's been a while, but we're back. And as you can tell, we're going with the throwback scheme, brought back, or the throwback tradition, bringing back the mid-90s Badalamenti shirt from Joe Gibbs Racing. I believe this is 1996 that this car came out. And as you can tell from some of the graphics on your screen, we're going throwback with Fox 2001 to 2003, the package they brought in with NASCAR in the early 2000s. Getting into the throwback theme, it's really cool seeing all the drivers, crews, teams, and even sponsors come out, put their traditional colors and, how they want to present their car aside and go back and celebrate the past. And some of them have put out some magnificent throwback paint schemes. And regardless of what happens, it has been a very fun weekend nonetheless. Now, there are some news regarding some other things that have taken place outside of the racetrack at Darlington, but we're not going to focus on that. That will be saved for a future episode on Monday or Tuesday. We're only going to focus on the on-track action. Now, the Xfinity Series and Truck Series were also at the track on Friday and Saturday. And let's just say there's been a lot of action that's taken place here at the track that is too tough to tame. Let's first take a look at what took place on Friday night. The race was dominated by John Hunter Nemechek and Ben Rhodes until with 31 laps to go. A melee, a traffic jam, 17 trucks involved. Contact between the first two rows being and bang into each other. Corey Hamm and John Hunter Nemechek both slam into the wall, creating this 17 truck pileup, a traffic jam entering turn number 1. Multiple leaders were taken out, including the KBM trucks, Zane Smith, and others. 12 cautions took place in this event for 66 laps. The number of caution laps equates to just around 45%, so nearly half of the race was run under caution. That is a lot of cautions. The amount of crashes that took place in that race was insane. The race went past midnight, and I'm pretty sure there's only, I think, maybe 8 or 9 trucks that did not suffer any damage. But we'd eventually get to the end with 2 laps to go. A 2-lap shootout between Ben Rhodes and Sheldon Creed. Creed gets out in front off of turn number 2, and Rhodes will not be able to challenge. Sheldon Creed will go on to win at Darlington for the first time in his career. His first win of 2021, his last one came when he won the championship at Phoenix last year. Second place is Ben Rhodes, and third is Carson Husifer. Astounding effort by the rookie, comes home in third place in that Nice Motorsports truck. And also, it was a nice throwback that Sheldon Creed and GMS Racing did. The throwback to Jason Leffler when he won in the Ultra Motorsports number 2 Dodge, I think it was, at Dover, I think in the mid-2000s, and even had Jason Leffler's name on the right side above the door. So it was a nice tribute to Jason there. And the action did not stop. On Saturday, we had the Xfinity Series, and I will say this, I think the Xfinity Series put on the best show in terms of paint schemes, throwback paint schemes. I mean, you had Michael Annett with the Gatorade car, Justin Allgaier with the Dale Earnhardt Taz car. Yeah, Jeremy Clemens and Brandon Brown both throwing back to Dale Jarrett when he drove in the UPS days. There were a lot of fantastic paint schemes. And this race was dominated by Austin Cindric and Noah Gragson. Gragson led 40 laps, Cindric led 34 laps, but Austin Cindric would not be a factor as he was involved in a crash that cost him a shot at winning. Meanwhile, up front it was NASCAR overtime with 2 laps to go, and Junior Motorsports with Gragson, Josh Berry, and Justin Allgaier real threats to win the race. Going into number 1, Justin Allgaier on the outside lane was able to hold off Josh Berry at bay and will go on to win for the second time in 2021. His first career win at Darlington, I believe his 18th career Xfinity Series win. Josh Berry would finish in second, and Brandon Jones would finish in third. Now, Noah Gragson finished 4th in that race and would have taken home the Dash for Cash win for the 3rd time this season. However, his car failed post-race inspection, and as a result, he was disqualified. That means that AJ Allmendinger, the second highest finisher in that race, who finished 12th, would take home the Dash for Cash and the $100,000 prize. Let's now move on to the Cup Series. 11 races in 2021, 10 different winners. Here's a look at the playoff grid. You see the first page, all 10 drivers. You see there they have a win next to their name. That means currently at the moment, they are locked in. But with the way how things are going in 2021, who knows, we might possibly see more than 16 winners. There is a good chance of that happening. Mark Truex Jr., the only driver currently at the moment with 2 victories. Byron, Logano, Blaney, Keselowski, Larson, Busch, Bell, McDowell, and Bowman in the top 10 all have 1 win. The next page, though, is all drivers that don't have wins. Denny Hamlin, the highest driver without a victory, 243 points ahead of the cut line. Chase Elliott in 12th, 111. Kevin Harvick one behind, 110. Austin Dillon 14th, plus 57. Chris Buescher plus 20. Matt DiBenedetto, strong runs these last few weeks, has jumped up to the 16th spot, 12 points ahead of Kurt Busch. Tyler Reddick minus 18, alongside with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Newman in 20th, 31 points behind. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 2021 Goodyear 400. Randomly selected on the front row was Brad Keselowski in the number 2 Freightliner 4, and Kevin Harvick, who just unveiled his throwback paint scheme, throwing back to his very first Cup Series race at Rockingham of 2001 when he replaced the legendary late Dale Earnhardt. Row 2 is a couple of Toyota teammates Kyle Busch and Mark Truex Jr. Row 3 is Hendrick teammates William Byron and Chase Elliott. Row 4 is 3-time Darlington winner Denny Hamlin on the inside lane and Matt DiBenedetto in the 21 car on the outside. Row 5, round out the top 10 is RCR teammates Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. Row 6 is 4 drivers Chris Buescher and Joey Logano. Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell and Kyle Larson make up Row 7. Row 8 has Daniel Suarez and Ryan Blaney. Row 9 has CGR teammates Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain, 17th and 18th, and Alex Bowman and Ryan Newman rounds out the top 20. Row 11 is Christopher Bell and rookie Chase Briscoe. Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer make up Row 12. Rookie Anthony Alfredo and Eric Jones Row 13. Eric Almirola, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 14, and Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoie throwing back to Alan Kulwicki in the Xerox days in the 7 car. He starts in 30th. And then the final 4 rows, Justin Haley, BJ McLeod, Cody Ware, JJ Yaley, Quinn Houff, James Davison, and Josh Bilicki. Now let's take a look at the odds to win at Darlington. A track like Darlington really fits Kyle Larson's style, and the people at BetOnline AG agrees with that, as they voted him as the favorite with a 15-4 shot at winning. Denny Hamlin, the 3-time winner, 11-2. 2014 Southern 500 winner Kevin Harvick with a 7-1 chance. Mark Truex Jr., another former winner, 15-2. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, 8-1 chance apiece. Chase Elliott, the defending champion, 9-1. Joe Logano, 10-1 chance. William Byron and Alex Bowman, 16-1 and 18-1 respectively. And then Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Kurt Busch, and Austin Dillon. Those are the remaining 4 drivers that at least have the best shots at winning. When we take a look at the race analysis, there is 37 cars participating in this race. 400 miles make up 293 laps. Stage 1 is 90 laps, stage 2 95, and the final stage is 108 laps. So what can we expect from Darlington? Well, there are a lot of drivers that are currently winless. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, who should have won at Kansas but couldn't get the job done. There are a lot of drivers that still are looking for their very first win, including Stewart-Haas Racing. They have not gone to victory lane just yet. Now, Kevin Harvick did finish second at Kansas last weekend and is a former winner with Stewart-Haas, but the team has not been there. Could Darlington maybe placate to Harvick's strengths? Now, I mentioned he won the 2014 Southern 500, but he's actually a 3-time winner at the track Too Tough to Tame. 2 Southern 500 wins, including he swept both races last year. When NASCAR returned to Darlington, I believe on May 17th, he won. And then when he got to the Southern 500 in the playoffs, he also won. So he's going into Darlington with a lot of momentum. Won the last 2 races, including a 2nd place finish at Kansas last weekend. That Ford team has got a lot of momentum on their side. And on top of that, they're starting out front in 2nd place. Another driver that I think we should probably look out for is William Byron. Since he won at Homestead back in race number 3, he has put up an impressive 9 consecutive top 10 streak. I mean, his win at Homestead, 8th at Vegas, 8th at Phoenix, 8th at Atlanta, 6th at Bristol, 4th place at Martinsville, 7th at Richmond, 2nd at Talladega, and a 9th last weekend. And keep in mind, he's also run really good at Darlington. He finished 5th in the Southern 500 last fall and actually had a pretty good car in the May race at Darlington before he crashed, I believe, around the beginning of or near the end of stage number 2. So Byron has a good car, or at least he's had a great season so far, a very consistent season, and he's going to a track that he runs pretty well. So I think William Byron might be a guy to keep your eye on this race. He's going to be a sleeper pick, in my opinion. He's going to be someone that I don't think a lot of people are going to expect. He's starting in 6th place alongside with his teammate Chase Elliott, so he's got a pretty good view up front. He might be able to surprise some people in this race here today. But ultimately, my pick to win today's Goodyear 400 will go to Denny Hamlin. He's going to get his 4th win at Darlington Raceway and his first of 2021. I mean, when you take a look at his average finish, like I said, 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and an average finish of 7.53. That's one of the highest, if not the highest average finish of all active drivers. And Hamlin has been so strong in 2021. Just the team and Hamlin himself has not been able to capitalize. I think if the team can capitalize, if they can have no mistakes, I think Hamlin will drive into victory lane for the first time in 2021. So I have him winning. But regardless who wins, I hope for a really good race. Remember, we're entering into this race with the 750 low downforce, high horsepower package, and Darlington is just a really fun racetrack to watch and a really fun track to race at. So regardless what happens, I think we're going to see a really fun show. But yes, I got Hamlin winning. Tell me in the comment section down below, who do you have winning this race? Do you think it's Hamlin? Do you think maybe Kevin Harvick and SHR, could they have a resurgence? Or are you looking at maybe the Hendrick drivers, or let's say a William Byron or a Chase Elliott? Or could you maybe favor the Penske duo, Team Penske of Joe Logano or Brad Keselowski? Or maybe even a JGR driver, Kyle Busch. Could he go 2 in a row? He is a former winner at Darlington. There's a lot of contenders, a lot of people that have real good shots of winning, and there are also a lot of drivers that still have not gone to victory lane. So it should be very interesting to see how those storylines develop. But that is going to conclude this edition of MDK Race Day. Don't forget, of course, to leave a like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, my name is Jet from MDK, and I'll see y'all next time.